Okay, let's look at the first problem. So the first problem says, Miss Jasko asked her students what kind of ice cream is their favorite. This was her results. So this was the data she collected, and we want to make a graph to represent this data. So I think the easiest graph to make would be a bar graph. Okay, so I'm going to put over here the categories. So I might put a V for vanilla, C for chocolate, a CD for cookie dough, a CC for cookies and cream, an MCC for mint chocolate chip, and an S for Superman. Okay, and then I am going to do my numbers on this side. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I stop at 5 because the 5 is the highest number. So I'm going to put 3 students like vanilla, 5 students like chocolate, 4 students like cookie dough, 1 student like cookies and cream, 2 students like mint chocolate chip, and 1 student like Superman. Okay? Now let's go and look at the next one. So it says you have the number 17. What can you break 17 into? Okay, so I know I always have to start with the ones, and the 7 is simply a 7. However, the 1 is actually 10. So then if we turn this into an equation, we would have 10 plus 7 equals the 17. So what is the value of the digit or the number in the ones place? We know it is 7. What is the value or the number of the digit in the tens place? We know it is at 10. And is 17 odd or even? We know it is odd because we have to look at the ones place, and a 7 is odd. Okay, now let's go on to the next one. And it says Miss Roque collected data from a 5th grade class. The title is how many books they have at home. Okay, remember this is a line plot because it uses X's, and we need to pay close attention to the key. So we know the key is an X is 1 student. So what kind of graph did Miss Roque make? She made a line plot. How many students have 13 books? So I need to find the 13, and there are 1, 2. How many students did Miss Roque ask? So now I need to look at all of the numbers. So I'm going to look for all, I have to count all of these X's. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24. So she asked 24 students. And notice how I counted every X. But 20 did not have an X, so I did not count a student there. And 23 did not have any X's, so I did not count a student. Now, I'm going to erase this. And it says how many more students have 16 books than 19 books. So now I need to compare 16 and 19. I know these are the same, so 1, 2. How many books do you have at home? Mrs. Yo has 100 books at home. Right? This could have been any number, for it says, did you have at home? So there is no correct answer for this one. And let's look at our last one. It says Mrs. Shadrick has a dozen pens. Remember, a dozen means 12. A dozen pens. She gives 9 girls in her class 1 each. How many pens does Miss Shadrick have left? So are we adding or subtracting? You could have done it either way, but let's pick subtracting. Show 2 different ways to find the answer. So I can do the 12 pens minus the 9 she gave to the girls to figure out what she has left. I could do a number line, start with the 12. When you subtract, you go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I jumped 9 jumps because that represents the 9. And now I'm going to go back. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That is one way you could have done it. Or you could have added, and then you would say that we are adding, and you could have done part plus part equals whole. So we know that our whole was she had 12. She gives 9 away. We need to find the part. So we know that 9 plus n equals 12, and I can find the difference. 9 and 12, because that's my beginning. That is my end, and now I need to jump the difference. 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 1, 2, 3. So the jumps are actually 3. So n equals 3. You may now do tonight's homework.